couple of balls being hit. We got about a minute and a half until start time. Um, this is Josh Roberts commentating for X Pool over here at Rail Yard Billiards in Kentucky. Shout out to all the sponsors: Rail Yard, Railbirds, Blue Mill, Michelle and Griffin, all of you guys that make this possible. So John Morra took a good lead yesterday. He had Danny down about 6-2, and Danny tied it up 6-6. And John took the last two games. Danny made a nice comeback. I think we'll see a competitive match today. So those of you who are wanting to watch at least the first game, he's got it up on Facebook to reel you in if you want to check it out and see what it looks like. So it is currently up on Facebook right now, at least for one game. So kicking off day two, Danny's break. John leads by 2. It is a 3-day race to 24. First day was racing to 8. Now the second day, it'll be the first one to get to 16, and so on to 24 on the third day. All right, so here's the break. See what it looks like. That's a pretty good break Danny laid down there. 8-ball stayed tight, blocking that gap to get in there. I would say that John may have to take a foul here if he can't see anything in the pile to hide behind. Um, he may have to take a foul, take a one-rail kick behind the 5 the long way, and see what Danny comes up with. I don't really see a easy shot. Even the 1 ball is tough because it's near the rail, and the 5 ball is also close, so it's tough to draw it down behind it. Wait a minute. Has he found something in the pile to stick here? Okay. So he found something to hide behind. He stopped his ball. The table position still favoring Danny pretty good there. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, he could try to kick the 8, hit the top side of the 8 maybe, and lay on the back of the 7-3. He may be able to thin the 3 ball and possibly, get to the back of the 8. I don't like going up the table on this. I think he needs to keep it conservative. He may even be able to go to the back of the 10 here. Back of the 10-2. Okay, he hit the 8 ball and still went to the back of the 10-2. Beautiful shot by Danny. I don't know if John can see the lower side of the 9 ball. Doesn't look like he can. Yeah. No, he can't. He definitely can't. He may be taking a foul here. One rail kick under these balls and just put him under the 5 and see what Danny comes up with. I mean, he may have a stop shot on the 6 where he can stop right behind the 9 and just push the 6 out. That's probably possible. He has to worry about leaving Danny straight in on the 9 with that shot, though. So I think he'd have to stop and he'd have to basically freeze him on the 9 to shoot it like that. Oh, wait a minute. Is he shooting the 9 ball? So he must have the lower side of the 9 where he can go towards the 5 with this. Otherwise, he wouldn't shoot it. Okay, so he went towards the 5 with it. Decent shot. Table still favoring Danny hugely, like by a lot. It's still favoring Danny. So I don't know. If I'm him, I'm not looking to change much. I really just want to find something to hide behind and get that trap so you can start a run, because if you look at the balls, they're favoring Danny pretty good. Now, I wonder if we can get that overhead look to see if the 3-7 is lined up at John's pocket. Is it? No, it's not. It's going low. Not anymore anyway. Danny's moved it. Okay, so John doesn't have much here. He's going to have to probably come off the 6 and do sort of the same thing he did with the last shot and just kind of float toward the 5 ball. I don't think he can get to the bottom rail off of this. Now, if he can see the 15, he might be able to do it off the 15, but if he can't, then he'll have to use the 6 ball. And the way it's looking from the screen doesn't look like he can really get a rail with the cue ball. He's going to have to get a rail with the 6 and just float towards the 5. Like I said, almost like the last shot. Oh, he was able to get to the bottom rail, very near the pocket though. It was sort of risky. I think he created the angle by forcing through a little bit with the draw to get that, because it certainly was risky. See how close it came to that corner. All right, so I can't tell if Danny can see the 7. It looks like he can, and if he can, he'll probably try to put him back on the 8-2. Nice, nice. Now that may force John to take a foul here, take a 1 rail kick under these balls. Now he may be able to get the 5-2 rails. It's possible. But jacked up like this, you want to be very careful to make sure you don't sell out or hit another ball on accident. So that being said, he's going to have to probably just take a foul and not try to hit the 5 here. Okay. Okay, he did hit it going in. It was very thin. I did not see it from the screen. They're just discussing hit calls, seeing what's legal and what's not. Now, it looks like that 10-8 goes towards John's hole pretty good if he could get to it. So Danny needs to make sure he's keeping him off of that. Nice shot. I wouldn't be surprised to see John take a soft kick at this 5. Just hit the bottom of it and kind of nudge it away from the pocket. That's kind of what I like. So he's taking that kick at the 5. Not going to hit it hard. You just want to just get it away from the pocket a little bit. You don't have to go crazy with it. Nice shot. Get out of the danger. I would expect Danny to move the 8 here, or maybe even shoot the 14 and not touch the 8. But there's a problem with that. If you don't touch the 8, it looks like you could be leaving a dead ball. So he has to be very careful with that. I don't see anything wrong with him going up the table from here. Like maybe shooting at the 3-7, pushing those down a little further, and sort of leaving him up the table where he cannot comfortably move balls off Danny's side. I think if he continues to play this lower game where he's dinking him around down low, he's going to lose the table position. Danny still has, you know, good table position compared to John, and that'll even it out right there by popping that 8 out. Now, John, if he wants to play aggressive, he does have a bank on the 10 ball, but he better make it, obviously, because he'd be selling out. I don't think he'd shoot it, but, you know, he has to figure out where to leave Danny, where he won't shoot it either. And that's going to be a little tough. A little tough. Maybe he could fan the 10 and just lay on the bottom rail. It's very hard not to leave this bank, though. Unless he hit the 10 thick and pushed it into the 14, that may work. But he would be advancing Danny's side a bit, too. So. Okay, so he shot at it. He made it. No, he didn't make it. He took the chance. He's giving Danny the first shot to run balls here. And everything is looking kind of nice. You know, he has a shot on the 15 ball. Now, he could possibly draw into those balls or either go under him one rail and try to catch the 2 ball on the way out, or completely go around it and play shape for the 4 ball. So, okay, beautiful shot by Danny. All right, so he's got a good looking run here. Now he has to be careful not to hit this 4 on the way out. He wants to really, this is a touchy shape right here because he doesn't want to hit the 4. He's going to have to brush the 5. Okay, no, he got away with it. He got away with it. Touchy shape right there. All right, so he's got the 5. Now, I like the natural shape going to the 8 ball. He could try to play aggressive and get to the bump the 2 out, but I don't like that. I like going to the 8 and then working the rest of the balls up top. He's drawing into the 2 ball, I think. Nice shot. Okay, well, he played aggressive there. I don't blame him. Now, he has tied up the 2 and the 8 now, so those are no longer gettable. He's going to have to go to the 9. And looking at this angle he's got, that's going to be tough. He's going to have to force follow it with inside, I guess, and try to get through the gap between the 11 and the 9. Or maybe even go 1 rail to the 1 ball and then try to get out on top from the 1. Well, it looks like he can draw into those balls 2 and the 8, but the chances of getting a shot doing that are not good. So I kind of like going to the 1 ball here, looking at everything. It looks like that's the most natural shape. Okay, so he forced it out to the 9 ball. Good shot by Danny. He might want to go ahead and take the 11 now. It's kind of hard to play shape on anything from the 9. So he could shoot the 11 and make sure he gets enough angle on the 1 to go back to the 13 and the 12 ball. He certainly got enough out there to finish the rack right now. He only needs 4. So just needs to keep that cue ball out of trouble. a little straight on that one ball. Got a little straight. He's going to have to force this. He'll have to either draw it all the way back to the rail or either hit it really hard to pop it out. May even have to just settle for just getting 6 balls here and moving the 10. He may not be able to. You don't want to risk hitting this ball too hard and maybe missing it to go to other balls here. I think that it's pretty risky to try to yank it out of there. See what he does. Okay, so he thought the same way. So he just went on and took the 6, and now we're going to play one pocket from here and see what John can come up with. So Danny's mission should be trying to get balls out of play. So you just go ahead and make the 10 ball. I don't think John will be able to do anything from there. And then you start knocking them out of play, and it'll be hard for John to win the game. That's the idea. All right. So 6-1 ball count, and we're playing one pocket from here. Well, I don't see anything aggressive John can do. Maybe he can come off the 3 and go under the 6 and get to that spot where he was just at, pointing to try to keep Danny from moving the 8 and the 2 ball. So that would be the idea. He's just trying to cut the 3 toward the 7 and go under the 6 ball and get over to where Danny cannot shoot at the 8 or the 2. He'll have to come up with something else. I'm not even sure that the 8 actually goes were he to leave a shot on it. I'd have to, maybe we can get that side view on the 8 and the 2 and see if it's even playable the other side. Yeah, see, I don't think that, I'm not sure if it's playable. And look, I can't tell if enough of that 8 is sticking out to even play it. If he were to leave a shot, it looks very tough to play. Maybe with ball in hand you could make it. It looks like you need ideal position to shoot at it. All right, so he's trying to get right there in between that second and third diamond, I would say, to keep Danny off the 2 and the 8. Little thin. Okay, got to the third diamond, so he let Danny see the side of the 2 ball. Now Danny can play aggressive here. He has a shot where he can shoot the 13 into the side of the 12, cutting it towards his hole, and the 12 will bank and the 13 will come off of that ball. But he doesn't need to play aggressive, obviously, because he has big ball lead. Doesn't want to take any chances. Can't say that I blame him there. John stole a couple of games yesterday from him with him having a good ball lead, so he's having a little bit of flashbacks on that. So he's not wanting to take any chances. John ran the balls good yesterday. So, all right, so balls are going up table the rest of the way. Say draw to the side rail and down. He definitely didn't want to make it and give John an easy ball to get safe on, which is what happened. If he had to shoot one of those balls that are near the side in the middle of the table from there, that would have been tough just because he only had the top of the cue ball. A little bit tough to control like that. And he's looking like he's considering this combination here. Now, if he shoots this, it would be okay, but you have to let the cue ball go. It's going to have to come around 3 rails and go toward the 7-3-9. I think staying down there, I don't like that. Oh, he got away with it. He bumped that 8 and got it over there enough where it's definitely tough to cut it. So he'll probably shoot at this 12 here. I don't think he has to put outside or anything to beat it. I think he can cut this with just a regular top English ball here. Now he has to decide whether he wants to shoot at this to make it or just play a move here and just try to freeze him on the rail under the 6. So that's kind of where we're at here. How aggressive okay, he was aggressive with it. He shot at it. He shot at it. I guess I can't blame him there. He needs a lot of balls, so definitely want to catch up. All right, so Danny just gave up that ball. 6-2 now. John needs 6 to win the game. Danny needs 2. And I would say he'd probably just 2-rail the 8 to his side and just kind of freeze on that right rail maybe. I don't think he wants to leave Danny any kind of banks or anything. Okay, so he stayed over on that side rail to not leave him any straight backs, which I don't think Danny would have shot him anyway because he's got those 3 balls on his side that will go if you can get under him. So I would say he'll play a little conservative. Now, I don't know. If it's me, I kind of like cutting the 13 toward the 2 ball. And just left English and coming 2 rails down to the bottom. So left rail, right around that piece of chalk and to the bottom rail. Cutting the 13 toward the 2. Or at least that way. I don't know if he's going toward the 2 or toward the 8. Okay. All right, so he put him way over by the corner there. I don't think John has anything. He got that long. He can shoot the 1 railer on the 6 and go 2 rails under that little pile of balls on the left rail. I think that's the best shot for defensively and offensively because he can shoot this and protect it. If he were to hit it well, he should go 2 rails under that pile of balls. Oh, he hit it with the outside English, slowed it a little bit. So that's going to leave Danny a shot. He hit it really thick, too. Like, he could have cut that ball a lot more. It almost seemed like he was trying to slow the cue ball down as if he could leave a shot there. And I don't think he could have, actually. But Danny's going to take a little poke at this, cutting it out of his pocket. Nope, no good, no good. He didn't cut it enough. Okay, so John can be aggressive with this. He can hit this with a high outside and come off the bottom rail and go toward the 2 with the cue ball, using those as blockers if he doesn't make it, and possibly shape on at least a 7 ball if he does make it. So it definitely offers a little bit of protection shooting this. And it's not an easy shot. You do have to hit it good. You could hit this too thick and go into the balls on the top side, which is, I don't think he wants that. could three rail the 8. It looks like it's on the rail. I'm not sure if John notices that, but the three. Well, I guess he can't. Not without the 6 being there. Got to move the 6 first. Oh, he cut it too thin. He may leave a shot here. Did he get him on the kiss angle? Can we get that right side pan? Okay, looks like Danny can bank this. I think he can bank this. I think he can just stiff this ball up and not even go down. Looks like he can bank this ball. Nice shot by Danny. All right, so that puts him on the hill. All right, so maybe John looks like he's got a straight back on this 13. He's got to hit it hard enough to get past that 3 ball. He doesn't want to leave it there for Danny, so he's going to have to put a little bit of speed on this just to get out past the 3. Oh, he tightened it a little bit. He tightened it a little bit. No good. He may have left a shot on this 13. I'm looking at it. I think he can. If he can see the 13, John's going to end up behind those balls. And, yeah, I think Danny will put just a touch of inside on this to glue up on the 7-9. Yeah, he's definitely shooting this. Just want to make sure you don't hit the 7 on the way out with the 13. Did he wire it up for John? It looks close. If they're close together, it will throw. I'm looking down the pipe here, and I think it may throw enough. It's about a ball out of the pocket, so depending on how close they are. Okay, so he doesn't like it. He's going to take another look at it just to make sure. He's got to throw it quite a bit. It's about a ball out of the pocket. I think it's got a chance. It just depends on how grippy the balls are. Now, if he cuts it any, I think that'll change it some. You got to be careful not to cut it. If you kind of hit it straight on to get the most throw. Threw it right in. Okay. All right. So that'll help. All right, so he's got a shot on the 3 here. He's not going to be able to go super aggressive and go back and forth, I don't think, not without giving up a shot. Danny's on the hill, so he's going to have to stay on this right side. Come back over to the right side off this 3. Okay. All right, so he hangs it up. I don't know. If I'm Danny, if he thinks he could cut it in, I think it's actually sort of worth it just because he only needs the 1 ball. And, okay, so he doesn't think he can cut it. It is a lot of cut, but, sometimes, these guys with these Predators, they're comfortable spinning that in. So he's going to have to cut this in and try to go up the table or maybe come back towards where he is with the cue ball to defend the 13. Careful, cue ball on scratch. Okay. That's not a bad shot. Now, if I'm John, I like 3 rail in the 13 the long way. So bottom rail to the right long rail and to that top rail back towards his pocket, and you'll swing the cue ball across. They'll miss each other in the middle of the table if he were to shoot it. But I think he'll play conservative here. Just bank it out towards the 2. A little inside, stay on the right rail. Ooh, he almost overcut it. He almost scratched. Ooh. That was close. No, he's got to be happy that didn't go in. All right, so Danny should be cutting the 9 towards the 13 or either cutting the 2 ball. He could cut the 2 ball and come up the table. I think that's okay. I'll be careful not to make the 8 here if you shoot the 9. Okay, so he cut it a lot. Left John a 2-railer. He'll certainly shoot the 2-railer on the 9 towards his pocket. Doesn't look like he can do much with the cue ball. It's kind of straightforward shot. He won't be trying anything. Probably just freeze it to that top rail there. Three railing it towards his side pocket. Careful now, careful. All right. It's possible to maybe spin this one rail with a lot of spin. With a lot of spin, he can change the angle and make it go towards the hole. He needs a lot of outside spin. Okay, so he's not shooting it. He didn't shoot it. All right. That was a good effort. He almost made it. Kind of hit that side rail just a little bit early, pulled it out. Danny may have to shoot this at his pocket. Oof. I wouldn't be surprised to see. I think John will just cross this one rail to his side, So close to the point, I don't see him trying to two-rail this at the pocket. So he can cross it one rail to his side and come straight down on the right side, or he can two-rail it to his side. Okay, so he two-railed it to his side. Careful not to leave a shot here. Now Danny possibly has a four-railer the wrong way. Going three-rail, a short three-railer is what I call it. And it's just to get it in play. It looks like it lays good enough. You go 1, 2, 3 into the fourth rail. On this table, it won't go anywhere near the pocket, but it'll drop down to the middle of the rail, to the end rail if he wanted to shoot it. He probably won't, though. That's okay. I like that. So John should be just cutting this two ball into the top rail, and he should be drawing it like past the side pocket, one rail past the side, and on down to the bottom rail, pushing the two ball up towards his side pocket. I think that's the move. Okay, see, he did something different than what I thought he'd do. I assumed he would. Okay, never mind, doesn't matter. He didn't do that. Did play defense well. I like what he did. It's okay. So Danny will just have to thin the two ball here toward the 8. Not a lot of movement, just thin it, and that's right. Okay. So Danny, by nudging that 8 ball, has taken it out of play now. John can no longer three rail the 8 ball. That's out of play. So I would say he would follow suit, do something close to what Danny did. Just cut the 2 ball into the side of the 8, maybe pulling it out of the pocket a little bit, and coming back over to where he is. All right, well, I mean, Danny can go ahead and pocket this ball if he wants to, or he could keep playing that game where he's just ticking him. He probably doesn't want to be the first one to pocket a ball. Make John give him the first shot at it. Now, I know the 2 ball looks tempting, but I think it's an illusion that it even goes in the first place. And he's got to let the cue ball go to shoot at it. Now, if you pocket the 8, you have to cut it in such a way where he gets over on the right side so Danny doesn't have a shot at it. I don't think he's going to shoot the 8. I think he'll just nick the 2, go back over to the right side of the table, leaving it right next to the 8. I don't think he can bank at it. Well, he can. It's just not a good shot, in my opinion. All right, so if the 8 isn't froze, he can roll into the 8. Maybe he could thin the 2 ball very softly, or he just make it. Oh, it did not go. Did not go. All right, so John will have to do something close to the same thing. Just thin it, put him back over there, and let him do it again. All right. Now, if Danny pockets the 8, he wants to pocket it in such a way where John can't actually pocket the 2 right behind it. So you kind of want to hit the side of the 2 ball where he's pushing it into the side rail so you don't leave him a chance to get both balls in play like that. See what he did? He left him on top of it where it's hard to move the 8, and he also left him where he can't actually put the 2 on the spot from here, I don't think. So good play by Danny. Now, I think it's a mistake to try to do anything with the 2 ball on John's part. I think he's just supposed to elevate, hit the 8 thick, get it back up the table. So crossing it would be the easiest. banking it back towards the middle of the table, up table, and just letting the cue ball drop down off the side rail. A little thick there, a little thick, but he's done a nice job. He froze him to the rail to make Danny earn this shot. Definitely a good, decent look at it, but froze on the rail can make it a little tough. He is shooting at his game ball though, so a little light on the stroke, overcut it a little bit. He's left John a decent looking bank at his pocket here. Almost a stop shot. Got to cut it a little bit to his left. Tighten it up a little bit, in other words. Just a little, not much. Nice. All right, so John earned that one. Well, really, I won't say Danny gave it to him, but he did give him a good look at the bank by hitting his bank a little bit weak. So John is all the way, well, John is all the way back in the game now. They both need one ball. And what's he going to do now is the key. Like, do you just thin this and try to just move it a little? You got to be careful because you could give up a two-railer or something. It's very easy to give up something here, trying not to just make it. Now, actually, he's done a nice job. He did not leave an automatic two-railer. Practically froze him to the rail. Yeah, he did a good job there. All right, so I think Danny's got to cut the two ball to the left. Just try to cut it to the left, thin, and try not to leave the three-railer. He could just very softly roll on it, but I like cutting it to the left. Okay, so he brought it down the table. That's not bad. It's not going to do much for him. Just getting it in play away from that John's pocket, John's side, actually. So he can two-rail this ball up and down the table, but he must put enough speed on it to where if he doesn't make it, it'll come out. So after grinding back in the game, I'm not sure he wants to take that chance. He may just bank it back up to his side and make Danny move a little more, earn the shot. It's possible to actually cut this two ball as well. He can cut this toward the pocket. I'm not sure he wants to, but he can definitely cut it toward the pocket. Okay, so he two-railed it. Watch out, cue ball. Watch out. Watch out. Oh, he got a kiss. He still got away with it. Whew. That was close. All right, so Danny has to figure out what he wants to do here. Do you want to three-rail it? It's almost on line to three-rail it the way it is. And he can follow it down to the end rail. Or he can one-rail it and put the inside English and go on up the table, two rails. I think he's going to one-rail it. A lot of inside English to get all the way on the top rail there. Cue ball is important here because if you don't get the bank close, you don't want him to have a good look. Well, he didn't quite get all the way down the table, but he got away from the side rail, keeping John away from banking it at least. I don't think he'll mess with the kick here either. It's a little bit too close to the point. He just wants to three-rail it to his side, I would say. Towards his side pocket. Okay, well, got a two-railer and a one-railer available. It's his choice on what he wants to shoot, but the one-railer is definitely available with no kiss, and so is the two-railer. Now, two-railer is a little bit tougher just because you have a small window to go forward. If you cut it just a little bit, you're in the pocket. And if you cut the two ball the other way a little bit, then you hit the point. So you have to be very careful on this two-railer. Looks like he's done a decent job controlling the cue ball. All right, so no offense for John. He'll have to three rail the two ball back towards his side pocket and try not to leave the same thing he just left, I would say. He could actually kick this ball as well. He can dig under it and kick it if he wants to. I'm not sure he'll do that, but he can. That's available. Okay, so there's the three rails. Hit it a little softer. Well, I never liked this angle for me. Seems like it's kind of on a kiss angle. But Danny's good at this type of shot. I don't know if he can two rail it from here. It looks sort of funny where the cue ball is going to get in the way. We'll see what he does. Okay, he thought so too. He didn't shoot it. Yeah, it was on a little bit of a funny angle there. Okay, so John just crossed it back to the side. Like where he left it. Very hard to two rail it from this angle, especially doing anything with the cue ball. I mean, if he's putting in, if he could actually one rail this ball. It's very risky. I would rather two rail it before I one railed it, but I don't know. See what he does. Yeah, yeah. He tried to one rail it and fell short, and he's gonna give up a cross bank here. And John is close enough to it where he can hit this accurately. Still not a hanger bank, but definitely a good look at it compared to what Danny actually wanted to leave him. Got a good look at it. So I would say I like hitting this with outside English myself. I think he can beat the kiss pretty easy because it's far away from the rail. But he may choose inside. That'll make the bank a little tougher. Okay, so he did go with outside English. Overcut it just a hair. Giving Janny a better chance to stay in the game. Now, guess he could kick this out one rail if he wants. The double kiss is available to get it out. Or you can kick bank it out. He almost backed off the stroke there. Cue ball went a little forward, but he froze him nicely. Ended up turning out okay, except for where the two ball went. It actually went where John can two rail it. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him shoot this. He can two rail this. He has to cut it just a little bit into the pocket. High ball. Okay, so he didn't try to be extra aggressive with that. He just got it down the table, away from the pocket. I may three rail this the long way towards my side, or either shoot it two rails towards the corner he's at right now and swing the cue ball two rails towards the opposite corner up the table. Just for defensive purposes, get out of this inning, because this is funny here. Crossing it up the table, you're almost 100% sure to leave a bank. It's too thin to bank it at his pocket one rail. So I like two railing it back towards the pocket he's at and swinging the cue ball two rails towards the other pocket. That's what I like. We'll see what he does. Ooh. Well, I mean, that's a nice shot. He got the two ball up on the side rail, but with the cue ball so close to the rail, it's definitely hard to get anything out of this as far as shooting it at the pocket. He's going to have to play defensively here. Wow, been talking a lot again with the mic off. I keep doing that. I have to pay attention. Sorry about that, folks. I don't think he's two railing this ball. He tried to four rail it, and he definitely undercut it a lot. But he controlled the cue ball nicely. He didn't leave Danny anything aggressive to do unless he wants to try and take a kick at it, which I don't like this type of angle for that kick at the pocket. I don't. He might. I don't. All right, so John's going to have a one railer back at the pocket. It's a steep back cut to the left, a little more than half a ball cut with some spin to bank it back to the left lower. Little thick on the hit. Danny will keep on playing. First game is important for both players. Not only does it set the pace for the day, also as it be a big game difference in the lead. You know, one pocket, 3-game difference is pretty big. I think it is anyway. Hey, it's a nice shot there. He's given John almost the same shot. This one has quite a bit more cut. If I'm him, I almost consider the two railer here rather than shooting at the one railer because you can control the cue ball a little better. So low left spin, drawing the cue ball toward the middle, in between the middle and the first diamond up there, two railing it at his pocket, I would say. All right, so he didn't quite get into it enough. He didn't cut it enough, but he controlled the cue ball nicely. Again, cue ball on the rail. Very hard to spin it from here. So I think we'll see more safety till somebody earns a better shot, kicking it out. Oh, he did shoot at it. He did shoot at it. Wow. Well, now I can't tell whether this four railer is available or not. It almost looks like the side might be in the way. I don't know. Might be better to just cut this one. Just cut it as thin as you can cut it. I don't like the Z bank really. I do not like the up and down bank. Too hard to get the it's too hard to get the control right, in my opinion. Wow, when I say that. Wow, what a shot. I think he may have left Danny the bank here. I think Danny can make this. He may have to elevate some to avoid the scratch. He may have to put a little bit of draw on it, but I think he can cross this ball for sure. He's not shooting it. Damn it. Okay. Well, I guess he didn't feel comfortable with it. I thought that's a shot that I like shooting. Just have to go across it with a little draw. All right, so no bank available for John unless he wants to let that cue ball swing. I don't think he wants that. The one railer is a little bit too thin, flirting with that pocket. Don't want that. Could shoot the two railer with speed, ensuring that it come out if you miss, swing the cue ball two rails around to the lower right pocket. Could do that. And it actually gives him a shot at the two railer if he wants, you know. And if he missed it and it swung out real hard, he would be leaving Danny a bank at his pocket. But, I mean, in this position, I mean, unless you're just going to cut the two over to the right rail, bottom rail into the right rail, and just leave it over there for a better shot, that'd be okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that. He hit the side rail first, allowing it to stay on his side. Now, it looks like there may be a two railer available here. Um, he can hit this with inside English and get up the table. I think he's got the two railer here. I think it'll go. Might see this one ball, one pocket game go on for a little while here. He might. I would say he's got to cross this ball, go back up the table. So crossing it to the upper left, coming down to the lower right. Careful, don't make it. Oh, he's left Danny a two railer. He's left Danny a two railer at his pocket. It's the first good look he's had in a while. And he actually has the kick available as well. He can kick under it if he wanted to. Kick and stick. He overcut it. He overcut it. All right. Now, I would say John's definitely going to cut this one now. He's got control. It's out in the middle a little bit. I think it's worth taking a spin at it. A little thin. A little bit thin. This shot is touchy. I mean, I really like two railing it towards where he is. But he shot this the last time where he shot a cut shot at his pocket and swung the cue ball around where he is, which is a little bit harder for me. But he hit it good again. Like he really did hit that good. Nice shot. Nice shot by Danny. All right, so I expect John to maybe kick this, go to the side rail, kick it back up towards the upper left. Possibly a one rail bank here. Possibly. And if not, then he'll just keep it safe. Defense. Looks like he's going to maybe take that one rail bank. He's going to cut it a lot to his right with a lot of left spin, and he'll go back across it, beat the kiss. So he's looking to beat the kiss here. You just got to watch out for the second rail scratch. Okay, so he overcut it a lot. And this is actually how he sold out the last ball before this one. He actually overcut it, so similar to that, and left this similar shot right here. Looks like it's almost on line now. I'm not a great banker, but that looks pretty close. Looks pretty close. What a comeback by John this game. Danny had such a big ball lead, and John just came back one at a time. Wow. Amazing shooting by John Morra. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Great shooting by John Morra to come back and win that game. That was a long rack. And I think Danny took a little break. I think we'll take a break with him. We'll be right back. Okay. The show must go on. Again, great shooting by John Morra to come back out of that game. He was down quite a bit. I don't know, 6-0 or something. And he made an amazing comeback. All right, I'm back. All right. So John stuck up under those balls there. I don't know if he can see that 13. Maybe he can. If he can, he'll be banking at it, giving it 100%. No, he can't. He's going under. So maybe he's banking this into the pile, then trying to loosen up some balls toward his side. Oh, he could bank it at his pocket. Great shot by John Morra. Man, this guy's playing really well. He sure is. Great shot. I don't know if he has anything to shoot at here. He kind of got, square behind the pile. Now he could easily push something over. Preferably, he'd like to stay on the pile. Maybe shoot the 8 and stop on top of the 5, pushing the 10 over, loosening up just a little bit. Oh, wow, it was dead. It was dead. Looks like he's off to the races to run out this rack. It was dead. Good shot. Okay. I don't know if he can make the 10. Can't tell whether he can get in there to cut the 4 at the 10 either. He might be able to spin the 10 ball in. Just gonna have to twirl it a good bit. Nice shot. Nice shot. All right, so let me see here. Everything's wide open. The seven's available, 14, 15 is available at the top there. So he's got quite a few balls to run, certainly enough to run out. He could actually shoot the 14 right now, move it out of the way of the 15, make it easy for himself. Actually, I like that better. It gives him a lot more options. 14 is sort of in the way. A little harder to play shape going this way. Maybe you're running into the 15 or falling short of it. Yeah, that's why I didn't like it. Much easier to play shape for the 4 than it was to play shape for the 14 again. Okay. So he ended up with a lot of cut on the 14. He may be able to bank the 7. Wow, nice recovery. Nice recovery. Nice recovery right there. All right, so he's playing for 3 now. So he could actually shoot the 11 and come on over to the 9, and that would give him the 7 ball, I think is the easiest way to get out. So he wants to come all the way across to the left rail for that 9 and the 7. Got there. Nice shot. Playing for 2 now. And he's got a nice angle on the 9. Oh, he's not even shooting the 9 first. He's going to play the 15 and then the 9. That's fine too. Whatever you prefer. And off the rail just a bit. Looks perfect. Got it. All right, Danny's going to take a little break. I'm going to take a break with him. First 2 games out of the way.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the preview. I'm going to let you know that we are going to be cutting the Facebook live stream. So if you want to catch the rest of today's action, go over to xpool.com and we'll have it there. Appreciate y'all.
All right, we're back off break. Okay, decent little spread there. Um, Looks like he may have left John a lane, sort of. I don't know.